Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the fourth grade concept of input-output tables. This is standard 4.5b in the great state of Texas, and we're using item number 14 off the 2025 released STAAR test. This is a new item type called inline choice. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have an input-output table, and we need to find the rule. So there are two choices here, and let's say I just randomly pick one answer. It will say you have not answered everything if I try to move on, so let's make sure we're going to answer both. So we need to choose one of the four operations, and then we've got choices 3, 2, 5, and 20. All right, so let's try to figure out what is this rule for this input-output table. So we need to find a rule, and the instructions are right here. Find the output number when the input number is given. Okay, so my output number, I'll write it like the way they wrote it. Find that when, so that means we're going to equals input and then some type of operation here. All right, so my outputs are going to be, let's start with 25. 25 equals 5, and then I need a possible rule. How can I get from 5 up to 25? Well, those two sides need to be balanced, and I'm 20 short. So I could possibly, let's do the rules in blue. I could possibly add 20, right? 5 plus 20 would get me to 25. Or I could multiply by 5. Either one gets me. It's very difficult to find a rule based on just one, because if we're increasing, you can multiply or you can add. If you're decreasing, you can always subtract. Sometimes you can divide evenly. Let's check out our number 2 option here, our second row here. So now we're going to 30, and the input is 10. So we're doing something to 10 to get it up to 30. And let's do that same thing. What could I add? 20 plus what is going to get me, or 10 plus what? Well, that's going to be a 20. And then 10 times what gets me to 30. So you notice that my rule actually, I've got plus 20 for both. My multiplication shouldn't change. It shouldn't go from a times 5 to a times 3. So let's keep checking here. I've got an output of 35. And my input is 15. All right, so that's where it definitely becomes a little bit more clear. Because look, how do I get from 15 to 35? Well, that's still 20 away. And I can't multiply by something. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to be technical, you can multiply by 2 would get me to 30. Then I need to get that extra 5, so that'd be 2 and a third. But we don't really multiply by mixed numbers or fractions in fourth grade, so that's not going to work. Let's verify that we have the correct rule here by doing number 40 from 20. So that's our fourth row. Input 20, output 40. Once again, write everything down here and you'll see that it's pretty obvious. So we're still adding 20, 20 plus 20. You can multiply a whole number on this one, but we're going to multiply by 2. You don't want your multiplication to change every single time. So when we're looking for the rule, we go side to side. Okay, we don't go up and down. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to do a plus 5. That's going to be a distractor. We're going to look side to side and we end up adding 20. So we're going to select here. What is our rule? First, we need to add. Now, you notice we do have that 5 as an option, but that's a distractor that's looking up and down. We're going side to side between the input and the output. Our answer or our rule is plus 20.